13th, 2023, in the hunt for R211s on the A train. Well, here's an uptown R179 Bombardiers leaving 4th Street. Supposedly there are at least 4 sets running around. Maybe a 5th one was added today. Got a good mixture of those with the R179s from Bombardier and tired R46s built in the 70s. Okay, we're in Brooklyn at the Hoyt-Schermerhorn station. Hoyt-Schermerhorn is served by the A, the C, and the G. Crosstown. C, local to Euclid Avenue. There's the G train headed off to Court Square in Queens. Yeah, those R46s are going to be replaced by the new R211s. Right now they have a fleet of the A's. They don't have the open cars that are open all the way through. They have doorways between the cars. There's actually a couple of extra tracks here at this station. That far one and the one on the far end on the opposite side, which I believe they use for the transit museum excursions. They board here. Even the C runs with the R46s. From here he's a local all the way to Euclid Avenue. Got off an R179 by Bombardier on the A train here at Broadway Junction, Eastern Parkway, and this is a busy place. Connect to the C, the J, and the L here. He's headed for Lefferts Boulevard. Maybe I'll catch him coming back. Well, we detrained off of this 179 or 179 at Euclid Avenue. It's a terminal for the C train. Pitkin Yard is nearby. An important stop for the subway. Euclid Avenue is still in Brooklyn, but it's not quite as famous as Euclid Avenue in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. That's a main drag. Here comes another A train arriving Euclid Avenue with R179s. Train is headed for Lefferts Boulevard, Ozone Park. His next stop will be Grant, and then he'll come outside the rest of the way. I remember back in the day that the only train that stopped here was the A. There was no C back then. The A made every stop from Far Rockaway and Lefferts Boulevard into Manhattan. Now the C takes some of the load off of the A. Train of R46s just terminated here. He may either make a reverse move or head into Pitkin Yard, which is nearby. It's an underground yard. Well, I've noticed a lot of extremes at these stations. Euclid Avenue isn't as crowded as Broadway Junction, Eastern Parkway, which wasn't as dingy as Hoyt-Schermerhorn. Manhattan-bound R211As. Manhattan-bound. I'm not sure if that was the same set I saw going east a little while ago. It might have been. Well, I got off at Rockaway Boulevard where the Far Rockaway and the Lefferts Boulevard lines split. See this train proceed straight ahead and make a right turn. Head down to Far Rockaway. Right here he enters the old right-of-way of the Long Island Railroad's Rockaway Branch. That's down below down there, going left to right. To the left, it's virtually derelict. On the way out here from Euclid Avenue, unfortunately, I passed two sets of R211s going west. Oh, here comes a 207th Street bound A train with R46s coming up from Far Rockaway. just curved off the old Long Island Railroad right-of-way. That was abandoned as a Long Island Railroad line in the 1950s. Well, here comes an A train of R46s bound for Lefferts Boulevard. I can tell by the switch. Rockaway bound train, you'll get to see what the old Long Island Railroad Rockaway looked like. Sorry about that. Right there is the trestle. You can see it down there. It's all wheat grown. Look at that. It looks like hell. It's been like that for over 50 years. You can still see the third rail. The once mighty Long Island Railroad Rockaway Branch. Now taken over by the Transit Authority since the mid-50s. Well, we're now at Howard Beach, Queens. As our A train is heading for Far Rockaway. R179s built by Bombardier. There are some tired R46s heading towards Manhattan. This is the station for JFK Airport. From here you can take the air train to JFK. Back when Superstorm Sandy hit, this was the terminus for the A trains. They didn't go any further. They had to rebuild the whole right-of-way between here and Broad Channel and the Rockaway Peninsula. It took them months to get it ready. Well, if you want to take a shortcut to the Long Island Railroad Station in Jamaica, you can get on the air train here and go via the airport and get off in Jamaica. The problem with that is it's rather expensive. You have to pay $8.25 to get on the air train here and another $8.25 to get off the air train in Jamaica. Let's check out the ride between Howard Beach and Broad Channel, the longest distance between any two stations on the New York City subways. out in the middle of the water at the New York City Subway's island station of Broad Channel. Soon after, here comes an R211 going to Far Rockaway. I think I'll get on this guy. Curving off to the left to head towards Far Rockaway. If you go right, it takes you to Rockaway Beach. Can't beat the scenery on this subway ride. Connection between the Rockaway Beach line and the Far Rockaway line. Where we're heading towards Beach 44th Street, going towards Far Rockaway, and right here the ocean is not very far away. Get a kick out of this marshland here. It's never built up. This is original Long Island Railroad track, folks. Taken over by the Transit Authority in the 1950s after a fire on the Jamaica Bay Bridge halted Long Island Railroad services.
This is Beach 44th Street.
Neat looking, neat sounding cars. Very quiet. I'll catch him coming back west when he returns from Far Rockaway shortly. Well, coming into the station, Manhattan bound, is a set of R179s. Years ago, when you went out here on the subway, you had to pay an extra fare to get out of the station because it was such a long distance from the city, but they did away with that happily. These are Bombardier built cars. A little more advanced than the R160s. They've had some problems with these, though. Back in the late 60s when I rode on this line the first time on the A train, they had the R10s back then, and it was a freezing cold day. I'll never forget it. Oh my God. And the stations on this line look very much like a Long Island Railroad station. You could compare them with the Locust Manor station back then. Same kind of light fixtures, platform sheds. Far Rockaway bound R179s at Beach 44th Street. I would imagine the next New York bound train will have the R211s. R211As out of service. Oh, here at Beach 44th, you're seeing all three types of subway cars on the A. Here's the R46s. This train is being delayed. I'm not sure what's going on. I saw several police officers here. And my train to Far Rockaway is coming, so I won't get to see this train leave. But it looks like my train to Far Rockaway, the last stop at Mott Avenue, has got R179s. Here we come. It's amazing how far these A trains travel from Upper Manhattan.
Hello everyone. The New York City Police Department would like to remind you to keep your belongings in sight and to stay aware of your surroundings.
Well, here we are, the end of the line on the A train on the south end. A long distance from 207th Street in Upper Manhattan. It's 79 degrees here now. It's about 60 degrees warmer here than it was that 1969 day that I was sitting here on those odd 10s with the doors open on this side, getting every bit of that cold, icy wind. Ay, ay, ay. Can't believe that was 54 years ago. Also, I should point out that years ago, this right-of-way used to be connected to the Long Island Railroad station area that exists today. Created a big loop through town. The Long Island Railroad station is about 2 blocks from here. And back on that freezing day in 1969, you had to pay to go through this turnstile. Happily, nice and easy. Don't have to do that anymore. Well, just a 5-minute walk away from the subway station is this unassuming Far Rockaway Long Island Railroad terminal. Catch a train to Jamaica at 5:51, and then head home to Lindenhurst.
Train to Grand Central. The next station is Inwood.
I don't hear that announcement very often. Well, here's the Far Rockaway yard here.
Train, please step over the gap between the train and the platform.
We're still in the borough of Queens. But when we get to Inwood, which is just around the corner, we'll be in Nassau County. You could never really compare this yard to Babylon or Ronkonkoma. It's puny. There's a couple of storage tracks. I can't remember the last time I've ridden on the Far Rockaway Branch. Oh, here we are. Doty Boulevard, Inwood, Nassau County, New York. A lot of stations real close together. No 80-mile-an-hour running on this line. I think that's the Nassau Expressway overhead.
This station is Inwood. This is the train to Grand Central. The next station is Lawrence.
Oh yeah. Hearing these announcements is something very, very rarely heard. I don't think I've ever heard those announcements on an M7 because I never ride this branch. But today I had to do the Great Circle route from Manhattan, taking the A train out here and the LIRR back. 50, 60 years ago plus, I could have done this whole trip on the Long Island.
Lawrence was next. Last two cars will not make the platform walk up to exit. Lawrence next. First 6 north home to exit.
This station is Lawrence. As you leave the train, please step over the gap between the train and the platform.
Nice station here at Lawrence. It's been about 30, 40 years since I've been down this branch.
Station is Cedarhurst.
Cedarhurst. Well, I've ridden the Long Beach branch several years ago. I haven't ridden West Hempstead in a while. I haven't ridden Hempstead in a while. I haven't been out to Port Washington in a while. I've been as far as Great Neck recently, but this branch here, the Far Rockaway, is probably the most neglected. These are all pretty well-to-do towns on the branch. As you can see, it's not a high-speed one.
This is the train to Grand Central. The next station is Cedarhurst.
Well, these people on this branch are blessed now. Now they have direct service to Manhattan all the time. I think they started an Atlantic Terminal train from Far Rockaway with the recent schedule change, but for the longest time, with few exceptions, you couldn't go to Manhattan direct from this branch. You always went to Atlantic Terminal. On the Long Island Railroad, little paper pocket schedules they used to make, there was always the letter A next to a train schedule on this branch. The A meant passengers to and from Pennsylvania Station must transfer at Jamaica. There were no B's, meaning that if you're going to Flatbush Avenue, you had to change at Jamaica. It was A, all the way across, especially in the off-peak hours. This is a nice little business district here in Cedarhurst. Another nice little station, looks like it was renovated. Cedarhurst Avenue crossing. Well, I know one thing.
This is is the train to Grand Central. The next station is Woodmere.
I think the oldest station on the railroad is at Hewlett. It's the oldest or the second oldest. I have to check on that. Prospect Avenue. I had a Far Rockaway train blast by.
This station is Woodmere.
Should come out here and rail fan some of these stations. Looks like there's an interesting station building here. But I think the best one is Hewlett.
Grand Central. The next station is Hewlett.
Well, the answer is no. Next question. Okay, have a nice night. Bye.
Yeah, interesting stonework on this building. I don't recall ever seeing these stations, so I don't remember anything about them. I just know that Hewlett is the oldest. That is next.
This is the train to Grand Central. The next station is Hewlett.
Franklin Place.
Hewlett.
Nice cemetery. Yeah, the windows are dirty. Some of my viewers complain about the dirty windows, but can't help it sometimes. Oh, somebody already got it.
Huh?
Somebody already collected it.
Oh, okay. You going to Jamaica?
Yes. A little miscommunication. I'm degrading it by taking a video of it. The depot building right here. That was it, I guess.
This is the train to Grand Central. The next station is Gibson.
Gibson. I think you can buy a through ticket from Gibson to Spihak. Also from Gibson to Naugatuck, Connecticut. Gibson to Wassaic. I wonder how many people have bought those kind of tickets. Those are joint Metro North Long Island Railroad tickets. I think that's Peninsula Boulevard. This train makes Valley Stream, Rose.
This is the train to Grand Central. The next station is Valley Stream.
Even Valley Stream is a station I don't hear often announced on an M7 because the Babylon trains don't usually stop there. Actually, it's an interesting station building here. Dubois Avenue or Dubois Avenue.
This is the train to Grand Central. The next station is Valley Stream.
Valley interlocking where we come on to the when we enter the Atlantic branch. That's the route we're going to take. The Montauk branch runs alongside of it. Valley interlocking is the beginning of several branches: the West Hempstead branch, the Long Beach branch, the Far Rockaway branch, and the Atlantic branch. Streams as far as I'm going to film today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the ride on this very seldom traveled branch by yours truly. This Valley Tower still manned.